Sorensen. The return of the lost wanderer. He's been gone for 2 years, but now he's back.
True. Rich Oliver, the all-time leading 250 champion. He is back. He's putting the fear into the race competitors already because he set some pretty fast times.
Fear? It's more like panic. He was the fastest in practice, but qualifying here is a little bit different. You're not only racing the clock, but you're racing everybody else in these heat races.
True. So it's definitely a different format compared to what everyone else has to run. The heats are based on your points positions from last year, so Chuck Sorensen will be on the pole for the first heat, and then vice versa, second rider for the second heat. But Rich Oliver will be back in the field, and he'll be coming through, and he will be fast.
And we'll be keeping an eye on him as well when he's on the track. Bikes are on course. Let's get ready to go racing here at Daytona with 250 Grand Prix heat action. We're getting ready to go green flag racing now in 250 action. You're looking at number 1 of Charles Sorensen. He has the pole, courtesy of his championship from last year, and we're underway. And as the action gets going, Thomas, the number 67 of Jeff Boss, late to the line, had a problem, is not in the starting field, and he was one of the guys we considered a contender in this heat.
True, that's a shame. Who knows what happened? Maybe the thing seized, but right now you see the two teammates, Chucky Sorensen and Chris Ulrich, right up front with the veteran, Randy Renfro, in third.
Veteran is very nice of you to say. He's 43 years old. I mean, you could still be out there, right?
Well, I could. Randy's he's won a lot of AMA championships. He just loves to race. He's just doing a couple one-off races, and Daytona's one of them.
Right now, Chuck Sorensen. Oh, we've got a rider off. Trying to find out who it is. We'll have to wait to see. Oh, there's the bike way off into the distance.
That's coming out of the International Horseshoe. Obviously, cold tire, probably high-sided him.
That may be the 59 of Dan Rios. Yes, it is. So Rios off in the International Horseshoe from Newcastle, Delaware. He is going to have to pick up the pieces and start all over. Meanwhile, back up front here on the opening lap. Remember, this is a 5-lap sprint to determine the final qualifying positions for the upcoming race. And right now, Chuck Sorensen out in front. And there is the battle for second. There's Renfro getting around the number 3 of Ulrich.
Yeah, Chris, he's a bigger rider. He sets up a big hole in the air. He's going to have a good race right here with Randy, but I expect Chuck to try to pull away from these guys. He's shown a lot faster speeds in practices. And then Les Renfro, although he is a small rider, can draft up and kind of make some kind of race out of it. I would expect Chuck is going to try to pull away.
Well, he's the, shall we say, Honda meat in a Yamaha sandwich.
This is true, and he's riding a one-off frame, Marty. It's a technical sports racing frame. It comes from Japan, and it has Honda power.
Well, look at him trying to take advantage of the draft at the end of lap number 1. Who's going to have the lead? The old veteran, Renfro.
Yeah, Randy Renfro, you can see the power of that Honda. Obviously, it's working really, really well. But Chuck Sorensen, the number 1 plate holder, he's aggressive, he's young. He's one of the riders I work with. He's not going to give up. He's going to try to get away in the infield so that Renfro can't keep drafting him and hold him up.
It'd be interesting to see if the Yamaha guys take that low line again. They actually were below the line coming towards the stripe in the trial hole. We didn't see that in the 750 race at all.
No, the 250 guys, because they try to shorten the track up as much as possible, and they try to stay down low on the banking. So that's the reason why they do that.
So right now, Chuck Sorensen back where he started this race, out front. Renfro in second, and Ulrich running in third. Uh-oh, another rider down. And it cannot picture or make out who it exactly is. We're looking for the number. We saw a last name of Gill on the riders. So it is number 15, Corey Gill from Woodinville, Washington, on the Yamaha. So his race is also over, but again, he appears to be okay.
Yeah, that's a shame, you know, just to throw it down the road. Now he's going to have to start at the back. But the good thing is the rider's okay.
Down the 3,000-foot backstretch. Sorensen trying to break up the draft. Renfro staying right with him. Ulrich right behind the two of them into the bus stop chicane. Remember, these are only 250cc bikes. Weight difference between the 750 we just saw a little bit earlier and the 250.
Oh, I don't have the exact weight, but you're probably looking at close to maybe 50 to 100 pounds. I mean, it's quite a big difference. 250s are light little GP bikes, and the 750 Super Sport bikes are basically production street bikes.
Now, if you're wondering where Rich Oliver is, he is in heat number 2, so that's still to come. Here we go again. This is the conclusion of lap number 2, and again, Renfro is practicing that finish line charge, and again at the stripe, he's got the lead.
Yeah, his bike obviously is running very, very good on top. And Chuck just, you know, he's keeping his low line, but there's just no way he can hold Renfro back from drafting by him.
Okay, if you're Sorensen, what do you do now? He's seen that act twice.
Well, he's going to keep putting the pressure on Randy because, you know, he knows that he can, well, you can see right there, he goes around him on the outside. I mean, Chuck obviously is faster on the infield, and that's one thing about Daytona because the draft comes into play so much. But Chuck, he's going to just keep putting his head down lap after lap and try to get away from Renfro on the infield.
Well, stay with us. We've got to take a break. We'll bring you the conclusion of this first heat at 250 Grand Prix action right after this.
The most anxiously awaited sport bike ever made. The Ninja ZX-12R.
Sometimes after NHL tonight, I take my knowledge to a sports bar. There's always someone there who thinks his knowledge is the biggest. Then I showed them mine.
Back at Daytona International Speedway. First heat action in 250 Grand Prix. Down the backstretch. Right there, you see the number 2 of Randy Renfro. This time, did Sorensen let him go by?
No, I think Randy picked up the draft, and he was just able to go ahead by, and he's closed, you know, Chris Ulrich is closing right up on these guys. But I think this will be an advantage to Chuck this time because if he can draft by Randy and maybe put some distance on him, he'll be able to get away from him on the infield.
Well, we're going to find out if Renfro has enough grunt in the Honda to hold him off in the draft. Now, remember, the first 2 laps, it was Renfro slingshotting around at the stripe. Here we head for the tri-oval one more time. Can Sorensen return the favor? Because this time by, it is Randy Renfro, and he's held him up. In fact, he's opening up a margin.
Exactly, but right there, Chuck Sorensen, aggressive on the brakes, closes right up behind Randy Renfro. And I'll tell you, Randy Renfro's bike is just a missile right now on the banking.
So 2 laps remaining. Wow, that got a little dicey.
Well, you know, once again, Chuck rides the infield really, really well. You know, Randy's not taking you know, as many chances as Chuck because Renfro's out here for a one-off race. He just wants to get into the main show.
Big question. You know, we're excited about all this passing and it's great action, but this is still just a qualifying heat race. All 3 of these guys are going to make the starting field. Do you want to show all your cards?
Well, I think what Chuck Sorensen and I had talked about is he wants to set fast time in his heat race, so he'll be on the pole for the race. And for, you know, the big question is how fast Rich will come through the field. You know, so there is some significance to it.
And then the follow-up question is how important is the pole?
Well, you know, at Daytona, the pole is not really that important because the draft comes into play so much. And, you know, if it was another track where it was a tight first turn and the right, you know, if you got bumped back, you know, you're doing good. It's just doesn't really come into play that much.
Onto the high bank, the 31 degrees here at Daytona, heading down the backstretch. This time, Sorensen has about a 4 bike length lead, but here comes Renfro. Renfro trying to bring it down under braking and pull in, just trying to tighten it up a little bit more.
Well, I mean, Randy Renfro's bike is running so well right now. The performance machine back, Honda Technical Sports Racing, I guess you could call it frame. The thing is a missile right now. Him and his brother Sean, they've tuned this thing. It's producing some horsepower.
One of the great things about Renfro that a lot of people don't know about is he lost a thumb in a superbike crash years ago. They did experimental surgery back then, replacing the thumb with one of his toes. It's been successful. Here he comes. He's trying that slingshot with the white flag out, this time by. Oh, this is going to be good.
True. Chuck's going to try to just motor right back by him on the outside. I don't know if he's going to do it because Chuck definitely wants to lead the infield and try to get away from him so Randy doesn't pull that move again.
If I'm Chuck, I don't want Randy there. I want Randy up front. But right now, into the International Horseshoe, it has become a 2-bike race. Ulrich has lost contact. You can see him there in the back of your screen. He's no longer a factor. These 2 are going to decide this qualifying heat. And you're right. There's Sorensen trying to open it up as we head down towards the King.
Yeah, he's really trying to gap him just like he did in the first or excuse me, the last lap he tried to gap him, but Randy closes in on the banking, so we'll have to see what he can do this time. I know Chuck right now is pushing very, very hard because he knows Renfro's going to be there.
Randy, a very fit 43-year-old on that number 2 Honda, sells health and athletic equipment, so he's very much into physical fitness. On to NASCAR Turn 1, final time in this 5-lap heat race. It's going to get interesting because here comes the number 2, the old wily veteran of Renfro, trying to reel in the defending class champion, Chuck Sorensen.
Well, you can see right there, Randy's bike's running really, really well. That Performance Machine Honda, he just pulls right up into the draft, and it's going to come down to, I don't think Chuck really has anything for him, because if Randy's in the position he's in right now, I think he'll be able to draft him by start-finish.
I got the feeling just there, I saw Renfro coming a little earlier. He deliberately stayed behind, and now all of a sudden it looked like maybe he got short braking from our race leader, because Sorensen then got back on the throttle. He may have stretched out a big enough margin. We're into NASCAR turns 3 and 4. Final time. Who's going to win this heat race? The number 1 of Chuck Sorensen. Here comes the number 2 of Randy Renfro. Sorensen trying to break up the draft. Here comes Renfro. They're coming to the stripe. It's a drag race to the finish line. It's going to be Renfro. So Randy Renfro does it again. 4 out of 5 laps using the slingshot maneuver to take the win here in the qualifying heat. Stay with us. We're back with more from Daytona right after this.
To most people, this is just a uniform. But to me, it's something more. Every time I put it on, it makes me feel better and stronger than I was yesterday. When I'm in this uniform, I know no limits. You gotta see the pride in my mom's eyes, or the way my friends look up to me. But none of that matches the satisfaction I feel inside. That's the pride of being a soldier in the U.S. Army.
Interested in wearing this uniform? Then now's the best time to call this toll-free number, because we've got new incentives that make joining more rewarding than ever. Now you can earn up to $50,000 for college, or if you have college loans, we'll help you pay back up to $65,000. And with either, you may also qualify for an enlistment bonus of up to $20,000. Ready to wear this uniform? Call now or log on to GoArmy.com for more information. Find out how the Army can
Bring out the best.
The best of what's inside you.
You.
be all you can be.
This week, the ultimate hitting contest continues. Watch some of the best sluggers in the league play a little game called long ball. The Big League Challenge continues today at 5:30 on ESPN2.
Welcome back to Daytona International Speedway, where we've had a great conclusion to heat number 1 in 250 Grand Prix action. Take us back through the finish, Thomas.
Well, there you go. Chuck Sorensen trying to break the draft of Randy Renfro, moving around on the banking, but Randy Renfro's bike's just running so strong, able to draft right by him and just more or less blow his doors off.
So the 43-year-old Renfro takes heat number 1, and we're going to be keeping our eye on that guy, the number 7 Yamaha, the 4-time champion. And that is Rich Oliver, and he's going to start all the way in the back of this field. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, I don't think it'll take Rich very many laps to get through all these guys. I think you'll see him move right to the front probably within, I would say, the 2nd lap.
You're looking right there at Derry King from Folly Beach, South Carolina. He's on a Honda 250. He'll be starting on the inside. The 333, well, that's Quentin King. There is Oliver all the way back in the back of this field. He won't be at the very tail end of the field, but it looks like he's going to be in the 3rd to last row on this grid. And that means a lot of traffic that he's going to have to try and cut through in this 5-lap qualifying heat race. Got an opening spot on the front row of the grid. I'm trying to figure out who is missing there, and I think it might be Edward Sorbo from Redlands, California. He is missing from that front row starting position. So as we are getting ready to go green, that will be extremely costly for him. And we are underway. We're going to keep our eyes on Rich Oliver. He's going to be on the outside of turn number 1. That can be dangerous. Look at the way he's passing. He's got 4 bikes already. Here comes number 5. Meanwhile, up front, there you see Derek King. He's got the race lead, and there is Oliver already.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say it's going to take 2 laps. Let's say you'll probably be right up at the front. just after the end of the first lap.
He is now moving into 5th position. Rich Oliver, make it 4th. Look out, world, here I come.
Yeah, Rich, you know, he has all the experience. He's just going to eat these guys up. He's just trying, you know, these guys are just mere obstacles in his way because he is the, you know, the man in 250 racing.
Forget about the other two. There goes Quentin King down. He is now in the 2nd spot as we haven't even gotten through half of this lap. The only guy he's got to catch, and you can see him, and he can see him as well, is Derek King.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how Rich's bike runs right now against the Honda, because obviously Randy Renfro's stuff was really fast with the Honda engine.
And this is really interesting story on the machine that Rich is running.
Well, true. It's his championship bike that he won with that Yamaha had presented it. He pulled it out of mothballs, you know, felt that it was the best way to go because he knew the machine and brought it to Daytona and has already set some fast laps on it.
So in essence, he's running a 2-year-old chassis that's never been raced up until now, and all of a sudden, in less than 1 lap, he's in 2nd place, and he is closing quickly on Derek King. King doesn't know how close Rich Oliver really is unless he takes the time to look over his left shoulder.
Well, Derek King, he's a very good rider, 250 campaigner, especially he's riding a Honda right now, but I think you're going to see Rich Oliver come into the picture here real soon. If not, he's going to catch him under the brakes going into turn 1.
At the end of 1 lap with 4 more remaining, Derek King, who finished 2nd in 250 Grand Prix action in the championship chase last year, has the lead. Now, he won the New Hampshire International Speedway round last year. Took podium finishes also at Mid-Ohio and Brainerd. And look at this. Here comes Oliver. By the end of this lap, I think we're going to have a new race leader.
Oh, no doubt about it. Rich is closed right up on him, and that's to be expected. His lap times were a lot faster than anyone else in the field, except for Chuck Sorensen. So Rich moving right up to the back of him. I wouldn't doubt he probably maybe make a pass on the infield before they ever even get to the banking.
But with a 2-year hiatus, wouldn't you think it would take him longer to get back into lockstep with the guys that are running up front?
Well, no, not as far as Rich Oliver goes. I mean, he's the all-time winningest 250 rider in AMA history, so it doesn't take him very long to get back up to speed. He knows the machine really well. He's raced it before, pulled it out of mothballs. I mean, he's going to pass him right here, maybe even going up onto the banking.
We're into lap number 2 of 5 in the 2nd qualifying here at Daytona International Speedway. And there is your new race leader, Rich Oliver, as Derek King's going, oh, man, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah, Derek's going, I can't believe he caught me so fast. But, you know, that's just the experience of Rich Oliver, and we'll just have to see if, you know, he's trying to break the draft right there from Derek King because he felt him pulling him back a little bit. But Rich is just going so much faster as far as lap time-wise. He's having fun, pulling a little wheelie there. I expect him to get away fast, and he's going to try to set the fastest heat, so he will be on the pole for the race.
Well, you know what was so dominating? We talk about how great a rider he was in his heyday. In 96 and 97, Oliver won every single round of the 250 Grand Prix action. The only guy ever to do it. And at the end of 97, he had 42 career wins. And it looks like 2 years later, he's going to pick up right where he left off.
Well, you know, I'm kind of biased on that opinion because I'm still working with Chuck Sorensen, the defending champion from last year. So, you know, we're hoping that Chuck's going to get up there and give Rich, you know, a little bit of run for his money. Rich has got a ton of experience, though. You know, that's why he's at the front, and that's why he's won so many races. He's just very good at setup. He's good at engine development. He does a lot of it on his own. He's getting some help this year. I mean, as far as Team Oliver Yamaha, and he gets help from Yamaha itself.
So as Rich Oliver continues to work his way around Daytona, he is out in front of heat number 2. Stay with us. When we come back, we'll take you to the checkered flag.
I've heard people say that too much of anything is not good for you, baby. But I don't know about that. It doesn't seem to me like it's enough.
To accomplish everything you need to do on the ground, often you have to spend time in the sky. Fortunately, what you do both places can help you get where you really want to go. Just get the Delta Sky Miles credit card from American Express, giving you American Express service on the ground and Delta Airlines service in the sky.
You can apply now, right over the phone. Just call 1-800-SKY-MILE.
With the Delta Sky Miles credit card, every dollar you spend gets you a Delta Sky Mile. And when you buy your Delta ticket with it, you gain even faster. You get 1.5 Sky Miles for every dollar you spend. Plus, when you apply now, you'll receive 5,000 bonus Sky Miles automatically with the card. And of course, you'll get American Express service worldwide.
Call 1-800-SKY-MILE and apply now. We can take all the information in just a few minutes.
Call today. The sooner you get the Delta Sky Miles credit card, the sooner you can get someplace you really want to go.
Back at Daytona International Speedway, Marty Reed along with Thomas Stevens, Dave Reef. You're looking at Rich Oliver, the 38-year-old from California. Let's go back to lap number 2, and he took the lead.
Yeah, he came out of the infield. Rich's bike's working really, really well. He just was able to hold it down and just accelerate right past Derek King.
Okay, let's talk about age a little bit here, because Oliver, as he's coming by to complete another lap and has opened up the lead even more. He's 38. Randy Renfro was 43. He won heat number 1. It seems to be the exact opposite of like Superbike, where everybody's these young lions coming out of nowhere. The old vets seem to do well here.
Well, true, and it's just a lot of experience, and you know, just that's a good one. You know, just the class hasn't had a influx of new talent because of 600 Supersport racing.
Well, 250 used to be a stepping stone. Are you saying that it's not the stepping stone that it once was?
No, it's definitely not the stepping stone that it once was, because when I came up, I rode 2 years in the 250 class with Kenny Roberts' team, and John Kaczynski was my teammate. And, you know, we had a lot of competitors. I raced against Rich back then. So, you know, although it's a very good class because a lot of times it's competitive, especially last year, but when you get someone like Rich back in the class, it almost makes it a little bit on the boring side.
While Rich Oliver leads up front, there is second place. That's Derek King. He continues comfortably in second. He got the great jump from Charleston, South Carolina at 5'9" and 145 pounds.
Yeah, Derek's doing a really, really good job right there. You know, he's I mean, with the vast knowledge of Rich Oliver, it's just really hard for these guys to keep making that step up. I mean, Rich just has so much experience, but he does set the bar up there high, and these guys need to step up and start beating him.
Well, he's also riding another the Honda contingent. So far, Honda and Yamaha looking very strong in the 2 qualifying heats.
True, it's a good mix right here as far as the 1-2 finish in the first race, and this will be a 2-1 in the second heat.
If you're Derek King, though, and already in this heat race, and you saw Rich Oliver go by, and you realize that you're not closing on him, what do you do between now and the race?
Well, since it's so short as far as the amount of laps goes, what he's doing, he's just watching his board. He knows he's gapped the guy in third. He's just going to try to put together some good laps, bring it home, so he has a good starting position for the race come Sunday.
White flag is out for Rich Oliver. We'll get a gap here. It's 4.5 seconds back to second place. So Rich Oliver in 5 laps came from the third from the last row at the start, took the lead on lap number 2, has opened it up to a 5-second lead, and it will probably stretch it even further by the time he hits the stripe one final time. So Rich Oliver, in a dominating role, has laid down the gauntlet to Chuck Sorensen, Randy Renfro, Derek King, and everybody else in this field saying, guys, I'm back. You're going to have to deal with it.
Well, and, you know, Rich knows how hard you have to ride in the Superbike class. We're riding the 250, or riding Superbike last year.
Let's go check in on third place right there. There's Kenny King, Quenny King, I should say. He is running in third, the number 333.
And he's just trying, you know, he's doing the same thing. He knows there's no way he can catch first place. He's just going to bring it home and try to finish third.
Back up front to our race leader, Rich Oliver. On to the west banking for one final time. That's NASCAR's turn 1 and 2. He'll hit the 3,000-foot straightaway, known as the backstretch, then head for the bus stop chicane.
Yeah, the biggest thing, what Rich Oliver's doing right now, he's really trying to push to get the fast heat, and he's just checking out his bike. He wants to see what kind of tire wear he gets after 5 laps, although that's not a real big indication. But he's just kind of seeing, he's pushing really hard. You can see using the whole racetrack there. He wants to see how his bike's going to work under race conditions, and that's what he's doing right now in this heat.
Okay, without seeing the final clocks on who was actually quicker in their heat race, I want to put you on the spot. Who gets the nod, Oliver or Renfro?
No doubt Rich Oliver will have the fastest heat race because, you know, Randy Renfro is a great rider, but obviously his bike was so fast, it was holding Chuck up on the infield. I think Rich will have it.
And here he comes to take the checkered flag, our first runaway of the day here in 250 second heat qualifying action. Second place will go to the number 4 of Derek King as he crosses the stripe. And further back in third, it will be Quenny King coming home to take home third in 250 heat number 2 action. And Rich Oliver making his way on the cool-off lap with first victory in hand. And it'll be interesting to see when the clock comes out if he has that number 1 position. Stay with us. We'll be back with a lot more right after this.
It's the one day of the year where the sound of the mat is a little sweeter. Fans cheer a little louder. Superstars jump a little higher, move a little faster, and hit a little harder. WrestleMania is the place where heroes are born and legends are made. Snickers presents WrestleMania 2000 live Sunday, April 2nd. Call your pay-per-view provider to order.
The excitement is in demand. Pay-per-view for the demanding viewer.
When it comes to choosing a premium cigar, quality and selection is everything, and Gold Leaf Tobacconist is the connoisseur's first choice. At Gold Leaf, you'll find more than 100 brands of premium cigars, plus humidors, lighters, accessories, and everything for the pipe enthusiast.
Hi, this is Rick Middleton. During my days with the Bruins, I seldom had time to kick back and pamper myself. But today, I like to relax and enjoy life a little. And for me, that's with my favorite cigar from Gold Leaf Tobacconist.
The Gold Leaf, one of the largest tobacconists north of Boston, the best in quality, selection, and knowledge.
Recent research has revealed that men love classic sports. They also love explosions. So ESPN Classic is combining them both. First, you'll see the greatest games ever played at the legendary Seattle Kingdome. Then we're blowing the place up live. The Seattle Kingdome Countdown starting tomorrow at 8 and concluding on March 26th at 11 with live coverage of the Kingdome's demolition. It's only on ESPN Classic. To get ESPN Classic, call 1-800-CLASSIC today.
Daytona Bike Week, brought to you by Yamaha, makers of the new line of Bear ATVs. Yamaha, because out here, bears rule.
Welcome back to Daytona International Speedway as we get ready now for our 250 Grand Prix final. Let's set this starting field for you. And after the 2 heat races, the way it shakes out, Rich Oliver, surprise, surprise, despite starting all the way back from the 3rd and the last row in his heat qualifying race, will be on the pole on his Yamaha 250. Randy Renfro will be right alongside. Derek King and Chuck Sorensen will round out the front row. As we take a look through the rest of this starting field, we really are going to be focusing probably on those 4 guys because it's catch Rich Oliver at this point.
True. As far as trying to catch Rich, no doubt about it. He's going to be the pace setter early in the race, and he's going to go after and probably win this thing.
Yeah, I think you have to give him the nod, but the man who wants to go against him, his old teammate, and that's where we find Dave Reef with Chuck Sorensen.
Chuck Sorensen will start on the outside of the front row. It's not the pole position where you probably want it to be, but it's a good front row starting spot.
Yeah, definitely. Anywhere on the front row is good here. Just getting a good launch off the start and getting up there in turn 1 first.
It's a bunch of bikes in this field, but probably going to be a 2-bike show. You've got a great rivalry going with Rich Oliver.
Yeah, Rich is my old teammate, and he taught me a lot in the early years, and so you know, this is kind of a really good challenge right up against him.
How badly do you want to beat him?
Really bad, you know, because it's been in the years that I ran with Rich as his teammate. You know, the time I beat him, his motorcycle broke. So it's been quite a few years, you know. I've wanted that.
Good luck to you, man.
Thank you.
Going to be a great 2-bike show today, probably in the 250 final, Marty.
Well, you heard Chuck Sorensen say that's the man he wants to beat, Rich Oliver. He has won 4 championships in a row. He has been the dominant force. Took 2 years off to go superbike racing, but now he's back.
The bike that I'm going to race this weekend is the same bike that I won the 20 races on. And at the end of the year, I, as you said, retired 250s, that's it. I'm going to be a superbike rider. So I did that. and I put the bike underneath a beautiful picture that a guy made for me with all the final shots from Vegas in the winner's circle. So it was like a collage of pictures, and it was very emotional. You know, you could see the cameras and the champagne spraying and all that stuff. And I had that mounted on my wall in my living room, and underneath that sat the bike, exactly in the condition it came off the track. And Yamaha was nice enough to give me the bike. And so that's where it sat for 2 years until I pulled it out of the living room and put it back in the garage to work on it. It's kind of like a clean start, you know. What was going on there was winning so many races in a row with so much pressure, and only one way to go but down. Someone's going to beat you, you know, and that's, well, who's going to beat Rich Oliver? Well, then going into Superbike for 2 years, and now coming back to 250s, I kind of feel like I can start over, and the pressure's off. I'm actually having just a great time. I think the rest of the field has gotten better. I think the riders are very high quality, but I would have to say that the top riders in the United States race Superbike. And I was one of those riders for 2 years, and I learned a lot of new things. In fact, at this morning's practice, I put some of those Superbike lines to the test, and they worked out great. So I think in some ways I've also improved, and hopefully that'll be enough of an improvement to kind of keep up with the rest of the guys.
So the field is set now for the 250 Grand Prix final. Rich Oliver on the pole, the number 7 on the right-hand side of your screen. 2 waves, 44 riders, and we're green.
Chuck Sorensen on the World Sports Yamaha, a little bit slow on the start, but he's right there where he needs to be, Marty.
Oliver gets the whole shot, takes the early race lead. They work their way into the International Horseshoe for the first time. Oh! What a save by Renfro.
That was really, really close. He looked like he lost the front. Man, that was really a great save by Randy. You can see him shaking his head, boy, and thanking his lucky stars right there. He didn't toss the thing away.
And his family and friends back in Fredericksburg, Virginia are breathing a sigh of relief. Let's go back and take another look and see what happened. Coming into the horseshoe, pick it up, Tom.
Just Randy had the thing bent over. He looked like he got in a little bit hot. He jumped on the rear brake, and it came around and almost spit him off. But that split the field up a little bit, so that gave Rich Oliver an advantage. And you saw him just look over his shoulder to see where the rest of the field was, and he's already starting to clear out.
It was not something that the rest of the field needed to have happen. Giving Rich Oliver an advantage is like, you know, just money in the bank. Down the back straightaway, he has opened up, oh, it's about 12, 13 bike lengths back to second.
Yeah, Rich is trying to push the issue right here.
Got a crash. What is the 82 of Bill Oprendeck, Leesburg, Virginia, on his Yamaha. He is out of this race. He looks to be okay, though.
You can see Rich right here down in this tuck trying to get away, because he knows if he can gap him early, there's no way anyone's going to be able to catch him. His Team Oliver Yamaha is running really well. It's tuned by Danny Coe, and he's just pretty much left the field.
This time by completing lap number 1 of 15. The margin, 2.3 seconds.
And once again, you can see how fast Randy Renfro's bike is with Chuck Sorensen going around the outside, but Randy's made all that ground up from almost tossing the thing away on the first lap.
And look who is in 4th place there. The 101 of John McGinnis. So McGinnis trying to make a little bit of a statement here.
True, his bike's running really well too. He's the winner from last year, so we'll have to see if he has anything, but I just don't think, as far as Rich Oliver goes, no one has anything for Rich right now.
Through the kink, the pursuers trying to reel in Rich Oliver, and Oliver's already heading towards turn 5. Back there he is. He's out of the hairpin. There's the gap. We'll go through turn 5 up onto NASCAR turn 1.
We'll have to see how the Yamaha stacks up right here against these two Hondas of McGinnis and Randy Renfro. McGinnis was able to power by Chuck Sorensen on the infield. And here comes Randy Renfro.
Through NASCAR turn 2, down the backstretch, 3,000 feet in length, then hard on the binder. So it's McGinnis, Renfro, and then Chuck Sorensen. Then bring in the number 4 of Derek King. He's trying to get into this battle as well.
Yeah, those riders behind are just trying to work the draft and trying to keep up and not let these front couple guys stretch out. But McGinnis putting his head down. But here comes Randy Renfroe on his Honda. Honda against Honda right here. And Renfroe's bike is a missile.
Renfroe takes it down low. Hugs that yellow line coming out of NASCAR turn 4. Action going on behind those two. McGinnis trying to go the high side and take the position away from Renfroe, and does. We've got a caution flag down in turn number 1. Stay with us when we come back. We'll have a lot more racing action. 250 here at Bike Week 2000.
Do you dread washing your car? Drowning in soap suds? Tired of rubbing and scrubbing and reaching? Now there's a better way. It's the Simonized Detailer's Brushless Car Wash System, the incredible new system that combines the soft touch of a brushless wash and the rotating action of a power scrubber for a car wash that's simple, fast, and fun. With the Simonized system, simply add car wash concentrate to the soap chamber, flip the switch, and the Simonized Soft Touch Power Pads whisk away the toughest dirt and grime instantly. Each Soft Touch Power Pad is made of the same super soft fibers used in professional car washes for a soft touch that won't damage your finish. And with the no-slip grip, you've got a handle on real cleaning power. It's fun, fast, and it's from Simonize, America's trusted name in car care products since 1911. Right now, through this exclusive TV offer, you can get the Simonized Brushless Car Wash System for just $19.95. And that's not all. If you order now, you'll also receive the Simonized Long Arm Extension, making it easy to wash those hard-to-reach areas like the windshield and roof, truck beds, even your RV. We'll also include the Simonized Wheel and Bug Brush to handle wheels, headlights, and grills. When you're done with the car, use it on patio furniture, windows, and siding. The entire system is yours for just $19.95, and here's an added bonus. Call now and we'll add Simonized Car Wash Concentrate, specially formulated so it won't strip wax or damage clear coat finishes. Not enough? Call us right now and we'll also include the amazing Simonized Surge Sprayer. Turns any garden hose into a high-pressure sprayer ideal for blasting dirt, sand, and salt. Power wash driveways, decks, or sidewalks in record time. Sold separately, these cleaning tools the pros use would cost nearly $50, but you can have it all for only $19.95. Operators are standing by, so have your credit card ready. Order the only car wash system with the Simonized name. The Simonized Detailer's Brushless Car Wash System. Call now.
Tonight on ESPN at 6 Sports Center, at 7 Up Close with Tony Gwynn and Sean Green, at 8 Figure Skating, and at 10:30 Baseball Tonight. On ESPN2 at 7 RPM Tonight, at 9 Friday Night Fights, at 11:30 NHL Tonight, and at midnight NBA Tonight. And on ESPN Classic at 7:30 In Focus, the game of the century, and at 9 Classics NASCAR, the 90 Daytona 500. Do you have all the ESPN networks?
Daytona Bike Week, brought to you by Suzuki. During Suzuki Fest 2000, get $400 worth of free accessories and great financing on selected models.
Back at Daytona International Speedway, Marty Reed along with Thomas Stevens and Dave Reef. And whoa, Randy Renfroe, who was running in second place, has pulled his bike off the racetrack. This is a huge surprise.
Yeah, and that's a real shame to see because Randy was riding really well, and he's holding the banner for all the 40-plus-year-old riders.
So Randy,
I think I have an idea what happened is that Randy's had some knee problems in the past, knee injuries, and you can see him trying to pop that knee back in. And that's exactly what they just did.
So a tough break for 43-year-old Randy Renfroe. That's the battle for second now. That's John McGinnis and Chuck Sorensen.
And that puts Chuck Sorensen in a little bit easier spot because at least he knows now, Marty, he has one guy that he has to race to the checkered flag to get second. Because the last thing he wants to do is give up, the least points possible to Rich Oliver, especially, he knows it's going to be a long, hard season.
Coming through NASCAR turn 4. This time by, we'll have 9 laps remaining, which will put us at the halfway mark of the race. Whoa, wait a minute, Rich Oliver slowing down. He's on the apron. That means McGinnis and Sorensen are now battling for the race lead, and Sorensen
This is big. It looks like maybe Rich's bike, I don't know if he's had a tire problem. No, he's coming into the pits. The thing's probably tied up on him and started to seize a little bit. Maybe they were just trying to get a little bit too much power out of that Team Oliver Yamaha.
So his first race back will not end in triumph. A big, huge surprise to everyone here as Rich is trying to get the attention of the crew as he is making his way down pit lane, and it is a long pit lane. It's over a quarter mile long, and he is down towards pit out. And the number 7 of Rich Oliver, the first guy ever to win every single round of racing in 250 action. And he's done it twice in his career, winning the championship, obviously, both times. And he has brought the bike to a stop.
Yeah, that's a shame to see because, you know, Rich was dominating the race. And obviously, if the bike wouldn't have let him down, he had him covered today.
Well, Chuck Sorensen said the only time I've ever beaten him is when he has broken. Well, he has broken again. And so Sorensen now has a chance to take that first race win. John McGinnis is giving him all he can handle. While all this work is going on, we can also tell you, let's round out the top 5. It's Barnes, Quentin King, and Immelsbach. So there is Oliver still trying to work on it. Now he's trying to explain to one of the crew members what happened.
Yeah, I don't think the bike's actually tied up. I think what's happened there with Rich's bike, maybe had some kind of vapor lock in the gas tank.
So there is your battle for the race lead now. So all of a sudden, it has really gotten interesting with a new twist to the plot. McGinnis on the 101. The number 1 is last year's champion, Chuck Sorensen. Coming by the stripe this time. It will be, whoa, look at the way Sorensen shoots past him in turn 1.
That was a great move by Chuck. Looked like McGinnis focused on that lap rider a little bit, didn't know which way he was going to go, and Chuck just kept that thing pinned and went right by him. That was a good move because Chuck knows right now with the way his bike's running, Marty, that his only possibility to win this thing is to try to leave McGinnis on the infield, use some of the lap riders to an advantage, but right now there isn't any of them out in front of him.
On the infield section of the race course, there is Rich Oliver looking dejected. Dave Reef, you there?
Yes, I am. Rich, what happened to the bike?
We lost the cylinder. I'm not sure. I was hoping it might be something we could fix, but now I'm just stubborn, and I want to get back out there just to get as many points as I can.
How disappointed is it, especially with the comeback?
Well, you know, I mean, I've been out a couple of years. We might have missed something. I mean, we're a little rusty. Mechanically, you know, we thought we had it covered, but sure enough, you know, in the race, that's when things go wrong. So, yeah, it's bitterly disappointing, but we'll be back, and you know, we got them covered. It's just a matter of getting our act together in the pits and making sure that we got a bike under us.
Quickly, I got to ask, do you think running the bike too hard caused this?
No, I don't think so. I mean, they like to run hard.
So the race action continues without Rich Oliver. And it's the first time in, I guess, the 5 years I've ever watched him race that he has broken. And I guess the odds finally caught up with him here in his return. Stay with us when we come back. A lot more in 250 Grand Prix action from Bike Week 2000.
The styling of the Vulcan 1500 Drifter takes you back to another time. The engineering, make sure you don't get stuck there. Vulcan, only from Kawasaki.
Golf Digest presents 50 ways to lower your score.
To get greater distance, turn your right foot out. For a better backswing, don't slide. Turn your hips instead.
Now, lower your score, drive longer, hit straighter, and play your best golf ever with the 50 new stroke-saving tips in every Golf Digest. Call now for your risk-free trial issue. If you like it, get 11 more issues, 12 in all, for just $19.97. Plus, get this stroke-saving video free.
Call 800-417-1200.
16 remain. 1 will prevail. The NCAA Women's Basketball Championship. Regional semifinals. Tomorrow at noon and 2 on ESPN.
The Pepsi 400 at Daytona International Speedway is NASCAR's 4th of July racing spectacular. Make your plans now to be at the world center of racing. Winston Cup champion Dale Jarrett will defend his Pepsi 400 title, but he'll have to beat Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt, and the rest of NASCAR's best. For tickets, call 904-253-RACE or visit our website. The Pepsi 400, Saturday night, July 1st.
Back at Daytona International Speedway, the 250 Grand Prix final race leader is Chuck Sorensen. The margin, there you can see it on your screen, back to John McGinnis in second place. He's on the 101, and he's been working the traffic real well.
He has, and that's exactly what Chuck needs to do. He needs to get past these guys on the infield, try to gap John McGinnis before they go up onto the banking, because McGinnis's Honda's working really well as far as speed-wise, and Chuck today just doesn't have anything for him. But Chuck's a smart rider, and he knows he's going to try to have to distance himself at least towards the end of the race, maybe with a couple breaks in traffic.
You Derek King fans will update you. Derek has dropped out of this race as well. He was running consistently in the top 5 through the first half. We don't know exactly what put him out, but he is no longer on the leaderboard. And Rich Oliver's team, well, they are being stubborn. They're going to work on it, trying to figure out if they can get enough power to get back out there and get some points.
True. He definitely has some terminal problems, I think, though. If he's tied up a cylinder, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot to be able to do.
McGinnis drafts around Chuck Sorensen heading into the bus stop chicane. You know, we probably should talk a little bit about the fact that McGinnis, he's really not going to run the whole season. This is a one-off for him.
True. He's runs the British Championship stuff, so he just comes over to do Daytona, and obviously he's had a lot of success. He won here last year, but we'll have to see. So Chuck's using that to his advantage. He knows that this is a guy I'm not going to have to race for the championship, so he's not going to do anything stupid. He wants to collect as many points coming out of Daytona.
Coming to the stripe one more time. This time by, there will be 5 laps remaining.
And McGinnis's Demon Internet-sponsored Honda-powered technical sport chassis is working really, really well on the banking, but I think in traffic, Chuck Sorensen's going to try to zap him.
Well, things can get a little dicey right now. You've got 4 lap riders right there in a group. They're all racing for position amongst themselves, probably not paying attention to the fact that here come the race leaders.
True, and that's one thing that as a rider we've always talked to the AMA about, is trying to give us some kind of passing type flags for these riders that are being overtaken, because we saw some incidents before in the past where, you know, guys get run into because they just have no idea that the leaders are coming up on them.
Coming out of the hairpin, heading for turn 5. It will be McGinnis in front of Sorensen. We'll see who's got the grunt going around NASCAR's turn 1 and 2.
Yeah, Chuck's just trying to get his technical sports Yamaha in that draft. And as far as the draft for the fans go, Chuck Sorensen can actually pick up the draft probably about 5 bike lanes back if his bike was running. You can see right there that he just, even with the draft, he just doesn't have any kind of an advantage, at least today. So it's something that the technical sports guys are going to have to, the world sports guys are really going to have to work on.
Through the chicane, and while this battle goes on for the race lead, there is 3rd place, Michael Barnes. He is 17 seconds behind the front runners. Michael from Boca Raton, Florida, so he's got a lot of fans here at Daytona cheering him on. And he has really done well. I mean, he started back in row number 3 and has picked his way through the field. Attrition has played a part, of course, but he's riding a nice race.
Yeah, Michael's doing a great job. He ran the weekend prior, had to the Daytona event. He had a lot of success, and I don't know if he's doing the whole season or not. He's riding a Honda right now, and he's doing a great job, and he's going to try to keep his head down and put that thing in the winner's circle.
Barnes, a former Formula USA, and we've got a red flag situation on the race course, and there is a rider down, and it looks like it's exit of turn 5. Trying to find the number there on the bike. 105. That's Jason Dave from Goleta, California. So he is down while safety workers take care of attending to him. We will take a commercial break and be back to Daytona. Stay with us.
If you added up all the hours you've spent boring out cylinders, building strokers, and setting up suspension, you'd have graduated from MMI by now, and you'd be getting paid for doing what you love. Call 1-800-994-3664 to find out how you can become one of the best technicians in the world. Motorcycle Mechanics Institute.
Discover the amazing hitting secrets of America's finest baseball school in Teaching the Mechanics of the Major League Swing 2. Tommy Mansky's powerful teaching video that features the same revolutionary techniques that have produced baseball world's back-to-back-to-back AAU national championship teams. Parents, players, and coaches have been simply amazed at their students' rapid week-by-week improvement. These award-winning techniques benefit players of all ages and ability levels and make a valuable addition to any coach's library and a great gift. At just $29.95, call now.
We've taken the soul of the 1985 GSXR, the motorcycle that created the race replica category, and placed it into the newest GSXR. Introducing the 2000 GSXR 750 from Suzuki, the soul of a champion, reborn.
Back at Daytona International Speedway, we are under a red flag situation here in 250 Grand Prix action for Jason Dave as he went off the bike on the exit of turn 5. And you can see that they are assisting him up, and he is awake and obviously talking to medical officials, but obviously we have no idea yet how serious his injuries may be. But AMA takes no chances, and they shut down the racetrack. And we will revert back to the last completed lap, which means there'll be 5 laps remaining. And there is Chuck Sorensen. They will be able to work on the bikes. Let's talk a little bit about what they can do during this red flag, because it's really unique in most motorsports.
Well, that's true. As far as his team goes, I'm not sure if they're going to take any kind of chances right now trying to get a little bit more speed out of Chuck's bike. I know he's going to come in. He's going to tell them that, hey, guys, my bike's not running so fast, you know, is there anything we could possibly do? They might be able to make a jetting change to it, Marty, just to maybe get a little bit more power out of it. But since Rich Oliver is out of the race, the last thing they would want to do is, you know, have the thing tie up.
Well, let's find out from the horse's mouth. Dave Reef is down there by Chuck Sorensen.
Chuck, you getting a quick drink of water. Here's the crew goes to work on the Yamaha here. What's going on out on the racetrack? Are you a happy camper?
Yeah, it's going pretty good out there. I got a tough battle with John McGinnis. We're fighting tooth and nail out there, so it's a big drafting war. It's going good.
What are you guys going to do to this bike to try to get it a little bit better right now during this brief red flag?
We'll try new tires, of course, and then just maybe a few adjustments here and there, but nothing big.
As far as mentally and psychologically, you're going to be able to get that edge back for these last few laps?
Oh, definitely, yeah. We can go out with new fresh rubber and really charge those last few laps.
Let's go ahead and talk about the track conditions too while we got a little bit of time. How are things out there?
It's really good. Totally clean out there. Just had a guy fall on the red flag, so he's in the racing line. I had to get him out of there.
All righty, man. Well, best of luck the rest of the day.
Thanks.
Marty?
All right, thanks, Dave. The bike has been loaded and on its way back. In fact, it looked like, was that Jason Dave on the machine there? I could not tell. It looks like I thought he was being loaded into the medical ambulance, but we'll get you an update if we can. Let's take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll try and get back to racing action here at Daytona as the cleanup continues in turn 5.
The Mantis Tiller Cultivator is making gardening easier for everyone. The Mantis weighs just 20 pounds, so it's easy to carry and operate. Yet the unique patented tines and powerful 2-cycle engine lets you cut through hard soils and dig down to 10 inches deep. Mantis is so easy to handle that weeding and cultivating, even in tight places, is a snap. And with the optional Mantis attachments, you can dig furrows, trim hedges, aerate and dethatch your lawn, cut professional-looking borders, and remove weeds from cracks. Mantis's superior performance and rugged dependability is backed by a 2-year warranty and a lifetime warranty on the tines against breakage. So you get years of trouble-free service. The Mantis tiller is now available at factory direct prices. So call for your free information pack with details on our 1-year money-back guarantee. Call 1-800-257-6700 24 hours a day. That's 1-800-257-6700.
Major League Soccer is back. New York, New Jersey Metro Stars, Miami Fusion. Sunday at 5 on ESPN2.
All weekend long, all kinds of racing. The race is on ESPN2. If it goes fast and looks cool, the race is on ESPN2.
Back at Daytona International Speedway, the injured rider has been transported to the medical facility. We'll get you an update when we can. We're getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Now remember, during a red flag, as we go back to racing, you can make changes. 5 laps to go. Tires, fuel, whatever you want to do. And on the start, Sorensen gets a hole shot and moves to the front.
Michael Barnes got a good start too. He's right up in the mix, and Chucky's teammate Perry Melnichek's moved up into 3rd, and that shifted McGinnis back to 4th.
And McGinnis was the race leader at the end of the last completed lap. We have 5 laps remaining, and I guess the big question mark is, oh, another rider off, a high side in the International Horseshoe. It has been treacherous on this racetrack today.
Just cold tires caught him out right there, and unfortunately spun it up and spun him off.
Don't have a number yet. Cannot tell you who that rider is that is down, but obviously in some pain. Let's go back and take another look at it, Thomas.
Just you see the leaders right there, and Chuck Sorensen tried to get away, and next thing you know, wow, classic high side with cold tires without seeing exactly what happened, but that would be my guess. Fortunately, the rider is moving around and just rung his bell a little bit.
Racing is continuing. It is Chuck Sorensen, and John McGinnis has managed to get around Barnes for 2nd place, but Sorensen trying to pull away. Into NASCAR 3 and 4. Throttle down, and they're not even aware of what happened out in the International Horseshoe.
No, but the 2-man draft right here with McGinnis and Barnes, they're going to suck Chuck right back up, and Chuck's going to try to lead the thing going into the infield once again.
As they come across the stripe, it is Sorensen and McGinnis and Barnes basically all in the same 3-man group. Now let's find out about the changes on those 2 lead bikes. Let's go down to Dave Reef.
Well, Marty, nobody was more disappointed to see that red flag than John McGinnis aboard his Honda. He was the leader of the race before that flag came out. They came in while all of these teams could make changes. They unfortunately were a little bit handcuffed because they have no fresh Dunlop tires. They had to go back out on the rubber that they were racing on right now, while Chuck Sorensen, on the other hand, put on some fresh Dunlop tires. That's why this may become a 2-horse race. It's going to be won by Chuck Sorensen because John McGinnis has plenty of ponies, but no shoes to fit it.
This is going to make a little interesting drama here with 4 laps remaining, because you made the point earlier, McGinnis does seem to have the horses on Sorensen, but now he's got fresher tires.
Well, that's true, so we'll have to see if Chuck can use that to his advantage. I know one thing that Chuck's thinking is push hard on the infield because he has a lot of good grip, and try to get away. And you can see the drive right there coming out of 5, and how he's able to pull away from McGinnis, who has to probably wait on his bike a little bit because he just doesn't have the grip.
And look at the margin now between 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Barnes is losing contact with the front 2, and he has no drafting help from behind, so that could spell disaster for Barnes.
And we'll have to see how McGinnis plays this out, Marty. He might just play the, sit in the catbird seat and watch Chuck Sorensen and set him up for the end, because I don't think he can outdo him in the infield, but he definitely has some power on him on the banking.
Here he comes. This time by, there'll be 3 laps remaining, and you're right, he's practicing that slingshot move for the last lap sprint to the checkered flag. And if you're Sorensen, you're saying, oh, boy, do I have a problem right here?
Well, Chucky knows as far as the run to the finish is going to be really, really crucial, and that, you know, his only chance is to be able to gap John on the infield enough to where he could get away from him. But without traffic, since it is a restart, that's going to be hard to do.
Well, Sorensen closes right up during the infield portion of the racetrack here in the 3.5-mile layout. Stay with us. We'll be back with more 250 Grand Prix action from Daytona Bike Week 2000.
Here's how you can more than double your current life insurance coverage without paying 1 penny more than you are now. Call Best Quote. We'll prepare a free rate comparison of 5 top-rated term life policies that meet your specific needs. Here's a sampling of the huge savings Best Quote has recently uncovered. If that's less than you're currently paying, call Best Quote today for your free rate comparison. There's no obligations and no hassles. Simply the best insurance at the best rates from Best Quote. No salesperson will ever call you.
Stuart and I get the playoff picture back from the darkroom when we come back.
We're clear.
Oh, the prompter's going too fast. I can't keep
Come on, it's not the teleprompter, it's you, not stop the...
My throat, I can hardly talk.
Give him some tea, give him some tea.
I can't go back out there. I don't want to go back out. Cut me.
And we're back.
Cut me, Lou.
Come on, baby, come on, snap out of me. Don't be a lollipop, get out there. Tonight's your night.
Well, without question, these days, the word on everybody's lips.
Back at Daytona International Speedway, Marty Reed along with Thomas Stevens, Dave Reef patrolling pit lane. 250 Grand Prix finals underway. It has been a very eventful race, to say the least. Rich Oliver, if you're just tuning in, the pre-race favorite, gone. Motor problems. Right now, it is a battle between the 101 of John McGinnis and the defending division champion wearing the #1 plate, Chuck Sorensen. That's Michael Barnes in third, but these two have really been trying to pull away from Barnes the last couple of laps.
Yeah, they were the pace setters earlier before we went to a red flag, and I think these two guys might be able to get away from Michael, though. He is a veteran. Barnes has been around a long time, so we'll have to see, but you can see the power of McGinnis's Honda just kind of pulled away. Chuck Sorensen just hanging on by his teeth. There's just nothing he can do in the draft with McGinnis.
Now, the last time we saw these guys go through the chicane, then through NASCAR's turns 3 and 4, the roles were reversed. It was McGinnis in second, Sorensen leading, and then it was the slingshot by McGinnis that put him back in the lead. Now, there is Barnes trying to reel these guys in. Now, let's see it this time by if there is enough drafting help to help Sorensen get around him. Right now, he's not closing.
No, he unfortunately, just Chuck doesn't have it today. But, you know, Chuck's a crafty rider. He's wearing the #1 plate for a reason. And, you know, he knows he's going to have to try to gap him on the infield. But the other thing, too, Marty, he doesn't want to make a big mistake because he knows Oliver's out of the race and has no points.
2 laps remaining at Daytona International Speedway for the 250 Grand Prix Championship. Chuck Sorensen, the #1 plate, trying desperately to get ahead of John McGinnis here in the infield portion of the Speedway.
And one thing I should point out as far as John McGinnis goes, you know, when you have that much of a power advantage, he doesn't really have to ride the infield that hard. So, you know, I'm not saying that McGinnis isn't riding and putting his head down, but he's in a different position. He's in the position where I have a lot of power, Chuck down the inside.
Thomas Sorensen dives underneath him to take the position and move back out. But you're right from the standpoint of he's also got to conserve those tires on the 101 bike.
True, because he wasn't able to put that fresh rubber on. So, you know, he's like he said before, he's been doing this stuff for 10 years, so he knows he's in the catbird position. The only thing is whether or not Chuck Sorensen can pull some kind of move out.
Sorensen's crew watching the monitor, egging their man on. Go for it, but Well, I'll tell you what, he's having a tough job on the high-speed section of the racetrack, keeping up with the horsepower generated by McGinnis.
And this is exciting, naturally, for all the English fans, because their man's out front, putting it to the American Chuck Sorensen at this point. But Chuck's just trying to stay right there and maybe pull some kind of move out of the chicane on the last lap.
Now this time by Sorensen, a lot closer coming out of the bus stop chicane, but again, he's not able to slingshot. But could he be setting him up, saying, okay, maybe I'll give you the thought that you have this, so you'll want to lead going into this last lap, and then all of a sudden fire on by?
Well, that's a possibility, Marty, but I think what we've already seen so far in the race earlier, that McGinnis's bike's running really, really well. His crew's done a great job. They're getting a lot of power out of that Honda.
Final lap. 3.5 miles to go around Daytona International Speedway for the 250 Grand Prix Championship of Bike Week 2000. Is it going to be McGinnis on the Honda or Sorensen on the Yamaha?
McGinnis looks back, just wanted to see where he was at, see, you know, what kind of strategy he needs to do for Chuck Sorensen coming into this last lap. But I think Chuck just kind of knows, he's already seen the writing on the wall, unfortunately.
So what you're saying is, if he's going to have any chance coming out of the bus stop chicane, he's got to be right on top of him like he is right here.
Well, more or less, and I don't even know if he has the power to draft around, but there is a possibility that Chuck Sorensen could have been breathing out of it just a little bit. Maybe he does have something for him.
We're going to find out real soon, because we're getting through turn 5, heading out onto NASCAR turn 1, and we're going to see if Sorensen, through NASCAR's turn 1 and 2 and down the 3,000-foot backstretch, has anything, and he's losing ground. He can't afford this.
No, Chuck, he can't even pull out of the draft, because as soon as he breaks that draft a little bit by trying to go around McGinnis, you could see there he just went backwards. So Chuck's just going to do what he can do and take the points, I think, at this point, but the race isn't over yet.
Well, through the bus stop chicane, he has to be right on his back wheel, and it looks like he's going to be pretty doggone close. That's too much.
Yeah, it's too much. McGinnis got a good run right there through the chicane, coming off the chicane. But Chuck, he was covered all day, and McGinnis is having a great ride, and it's good to see it.
So despite the fact he had no extra tires, John McGinnis comes out of NASCAR turn 4, heading for the tri-oval, and victory for the 2nd year in a row in the 250 Grand Prix at Bike Week 2000. A great ride by McGinnis. Chuck Sorensen credited with 2nd place. They'll salute each other as they go through the cool-down lap. Michael Barnes will be 3rd. Quinny King 4th. And that's the way it shapes up as they make their way. There's Barnes as he'll come up to salute the race winner and Chuck Sorensen. So they'll make their way around to victory lane, and that's where Dave Reef is headed, and that's where we'll head when we come back to Bike Week 2000. Stay with us.
The most anxiously awaited sport bike ever made. The Ninja ZX-12R.
If you're ready to lose weight, muscle up, and get back into shape, I've got a free video you're gonna love.
Introducing a winning fitness strategy.
You gotta eat healthy, drink plenty of water, and most importantly, strength train with Bowflex.
Strength training adds muscle. Not only does your shape look better, you actually increase your metabolism.
Hey, I'm 41, and I'm in the best shape of my life. And I can tell you, Bowflex really does work.
For a free video and brochure on the machine that can help you get into great shape at any age, call right now.
For Paul Correa and the Mighty Ducks, the playoffs start right now because they're on the outside looking in. Jeremy Roenick and the Coyotes would love to play the spoiler. Coyotes, Mighty Ducks, Sunday at 8, only on ESPN. This is the game.
The NCAA Women's Final Four, March 31st on ESPN.
Daytona Bike Week is brought to you by Kawasaki Motorcycles. Let the good times roll.
The most cherished piece of real estate at Daytona International Speedway. That's the view of Victory Lane, and we'll be going there momentarily. But just in case you're tuning in, you missed a heck of a 250 Grand Prix race. We expected Rich Oliver to be the man from start to finish, and it started out that way as he was flying around this 3.56-mile layout. But then all of a sudden, coming through the bus stop chicane, he sits up on the bike, pulls it off, and says, that's going to do it, as he lost a cylinder and brought it in to the pit lane and did not finish this race. That then set up a showdown between the number 101 of John McGuinness as he went around Chuck Sorensen. Despite the red flag situation, when Sorensen was able to get fresh tires, McGuinness was able to hold off the defending class champion. Here is your top 10 behind McGuinness and Sorensen: Michael Barnes, Quenny King, Mike Himmelsbach, Perry Melnichuk, Jeff Wood, Walter Hoffman, Bruce Lynn, and John France. So there is your top 10. And that means it's time for us to head down towards Victory Lane and hear from the guy who's won this race for the second year in a row. Let's go to Dave Reef.
Well, John McGuinness wins the 250 GP class for the second year in a row. And the best part about this, John, you get it legitimately this year. It was a DQ last year. Congratulations, man.
Yeah, excellent. Really pleased. Delighted for everybody. We all worked hard. We come across here. Working out of a box, you know, we haven't got any spanners or anything, just all out of a crate, and we come here, did an excellent job, and I've got to thank Paul Bird, Vimto Drinks, and Demon Internet for making it possible for me. I went out there, did my best, and brought the bike home at the front.
How nervous were you at the end there, knowing that your competitor was on fresh tire and you didn't have one?
Well, I mean, to be honest, throughout the race, I could see where Chuck was losing it. His bike wasn't quite as fast as mine. My bike was a bullet. We were fairly even through the infield, but I had the legs right to the line there, and I knew that if I get in front of him at the chicane, I could hold it to the line.
Way to go, man. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot. Thanks.
Taking a look at the top 5 in points, it's exactly the way they finished. First race out of the box, not too hard to figure out. Let's go back to Victory Lane, talk to second place. Here's Dave Reef.
And Marty, that would be Chuck Sorensen, who really, we thought you had a chance, but maybe the bike going a little bit sour on you toward the end.
Yeah, my bike actually ran really good. The World Sports Kids Don't Smoke Yamaha was right in there. Some of the equipment, you know, we're against is sometimes world class, and we're still developing our brand new machine. But nonetheless, the bike ran great, and you know, John put up a hell of a fight. I kind of thought on the last lap to give it a little bit of room, you know, to get a run on the for the line, but couldn't quite make it.
And you're playing for the points anyway, so it's a good, safe finish.
Definitely.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Well, thanks, Dave. Quick final comments from you, Thomas Stevens?
Well, I think it's a great thing for John McGuinness to win, but Chucky Sorensen leading the points going into the rest of the season.
And Rich Oliver looking over all their shoulders. Thanks so much to Thomas Stevens, Dave Reef for his hard work down in pit lane. Hope you've enjoyed the 750 and the 250 action here from Daytona International Speedway. I'm Marty Reed saying so long. We'll see you next time we go racing on Speed World. This has been a presentation of ESPN.